Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Canada with Katy. I'm going to have some interesting chats. Well, I'm going to chat. You can chat with me if you have a comment, and then we'll have more chats. But we're going to talk about why you shouldn't really give a beep anymore. So, true to form, got to find the intro. And then I will be right back. Boom! Let's do this. Do you like my flowery background with the I don't give a anymore? So Candor with Katy has been around. This is my fifth year. Fifth. I have 28 or 29 subscribers. Pretty fancy. But you know what? It's for me, and it's the people that watch it and I talk to love it, and we talk about it. And I mean, even if just it helps one person, like sometimes it's about helping people, and sometimes it's just fun, and sometimes it's just whatever. So we're talking tonight about why I don't give a anymore, and neither should you. So that sort of is like one of those clickbait things, where it's people are like, what? And it's basically just a regular conversation. I'm having some wine tonight because you know why? I felt like it. And you know what else? I don't give a what you think about it. It sounds funny to go, I don't give a. So I'm not monetized on Facebook. And the part of the problem is like, if you have you say certain cuss words or whatever, they don't monetize you, but I don't think I'm in danger of any of that. So I took a lot of these, what I'm going to talk about from lifehack.org. Okay. So you think about much of the time thinking about life and how you attack it or don't attack it comes from loss. And so, it's a female in the Highland Games just posted today, and I think it's her sister, lost her sister, and said something about, and I don't ever call anybody out, but said something about, had I known this was the last conversation we were going to have, I mean, I might have said things differently. Like, she didn't have any regrets, like she said anything wrong, but it's the things that like you never said, or what you would have maybe added to it or whatever. And it just makes you think, life is just so short. It's so precious. Do we really need to be worrying about what other people are thinking about us, what other people might say to us? And so a lot of the things, and so you've known this, I think, about me, if you've been watching me for a while, from things. And I was just speaking with a friend about this the other day, because it's really interesting because I was made fun of as a child and stuff. And it's just weird though. And we're all different. And I'm going to talk about that too. Why it's important to really not give a crap what anybody says, because we're all unique and we all are allowed to have our own feelings or whatever. And we can act however we want to, honestly, as long as we're not hurting anybody or, being inappropriate, I guess I would say. But I always had this, and I don't know why. And so maybe this is why I do Candor with Katy. I don't know. Like I said, maybe it helps somebody or whatever. But I always had this in my mind, literally, as a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old. Oh, well, someday these people will see me for who I am. And I don't know why I had that. I don't know why I felt that. And so did the things that happened to me and were said to me hurt? Absolutely. Did it possibly, probably, form who I am today and why? You're born an empath, but some of the things that happen to you, I think, cause you to become a person who is maybe a people pleaser, and that's maybe part of it. And maybe just having fear of disappointing people or looking like an idiot or whatever it is. But I'm here to tell you that you are 1000% supposed to be you, and it's okay. And the people that don't agree with that are not supposed to be in your life. Okay. So let's talk about this. What I took from this lifehack.org. Okay. 10 reasons you should not care what other people think. And so this guy named Teddy Lim wrote it. Of course, I'm going to tell you the things, and then I'm going to put in my own little jibes. But one, it's not their life. Okay. So it's none of their business. So this is your life to live, not theirs. Okay. So there's always a thing. And it's really funny too, because just with the experiences that I had growing up with volleyball and things, and there's things that, my mom wanted to tell me, I don't think you should go to school there. I don't think you should do this, whatever, but she didn't, and told me when I was older, the reason why I didn't tell you is because you need to make these decisions on your own. And that's absolutely true. Right. So you also have to think about where the people are coming from that say things to you. And is it coming from a place of, I care about you and I want to help you, or they're just being a jack donkey, So 2, they don't know what's best for you. Okay. They don't know what's best. So this is just what I talked about with my mom. This includes learning your own choices. So even if we can all have similar situations. We can all have something that happens where it's like, okay, I did this and this and this. So I talk about this blood flow machine thing I have all the time. I talk about how I heal myself naturally all the time. I talk about maybe things in diet that people should do if they're suffering from some kind of joint pain or whatever. But I'm not upset if they don't listen to me. They don't follow what I'm saying. Or if I don't listen to, just as much as it doesn't bother me. Well, it shouldn't bother you, the universal you, if you tell me something and I don't follow it. Okay. But when I say they don't know what's best for you, also including learning your own choices, that means if I listen to you, if you listen to someone else and it doesn't work out, it's not their fault. It's not the other person's fault. You made that decision. You got to own it and you got to learn from it. If you're not learning, you're not growing, right? Okay. I got to scoot back. I'm in the thing. Okay. So what's right for someone else may be completely wrong for you. And this is what I was talking about before. We're all unique. We are all completely unique. Oh, I forgot to tell you that, by the way, that Sit Squatch and Gorm are on a little excursion right now. It's a little too hot for Gorm, so I think he's going to go back to Norway for a bit, and he'll meet me in Switzerland and Sit Squatch at the end of August. So you have to think of this too. So then think about and I'll talk about this too, like you as a person giving other people advice or whatever. And you don't that's not to say you have to discount what someone says. Like, okay, well, you don't know what's right for me. It's not like that. It's just take it with a grain of salt and go from there. And don't do it to please someone else, okay? Or to not piss them off or whatever, okay? So 4, it will keep you from your dreams. Think about it. If you're constantly worried about what other people think, you may never put yourself out there. So have you ever liked a person and thought they were just amazing, and you were excited and you were going to go on a date with them, and a friend was like, oh my God, you want to go out with that guy or that girl or whatever it is, that person? And then you changed your mind and you missed out on what could have potentially been a pretty amazing opportunity, or going on a vacation somewhere, or putting yourself out there, doing stand-up comedy or something. It's just someone else telling you what they think you should and should not do is not something that you should be squashing your dreams for. Okay. All right. Comment. Annie. Hi, Annie. How are you? Okay. So I'm going to go back to, what am I on? Number 5. Okay. You're the one stuck with the results. Okay. So your decisions and your consequences. No one else has to live by those choices, but you do. Okay. So I think sometimes maybe if you're nervous to do something, you should probably listen to it. But if somebody else is like, forcing it, nobody can really force you to do anything. You've got to be the one that stands up and says, no, I'm not going to do this. Right. So this is like obviously stuff I'm thinking about, because I'm surrounded by people, acquaintances sometimes, that love to offer opinions on things. And since I've been back from Norway, I made a joke that the first week I was back, I suffered from narcolepsy. I was so tired. And I go through my phases of being non-motivated, and I don't really want to tell people I struggle or whatever. But I also, I'm like this dichotomous person, because sometimes it motivates me when someone is like, okay, well, you can't do this. That's impossible. And I want to prove you wrong. And sometimes when someone is like, you got to do this, 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 and be this, 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 it makes me want to just jump off a cliff and just be like, stop. I'm not you. I don't think that way. I don't want to live that way. So it's like this real fine line of how do I figure out how to best move forward with my life? And not that I'm saying that I don't care if I hurt people's feelings anymore, because I'm not that person. I don't hurt people's feelings on purpose. But if I want to do something and you don't like it, I don't give an F. If I'm wearing something and you don't like it, I don't care. That's what I'm talking about. Who's living my life? I am. Who's living your life? You are. It's a big deal. You're allowed to do what you need to do. Okay. All right. Number 6, people's thoughts change. This is interesting. People's thoughts change on a regular basis. In my 20s and 30s, I never would have thought about Highland Games or strongman. And I would have people that would be like, oh, well, maybe if you would have done this back then. Well, I didn't want to do it back then. I'm so glad I'm doing it now. All the things and all the people I'm meeting and the things that I've actually challenged myself to do, and you sort of care, like you're scared. Like I was terrified to do all that stuff and I didn't know what I was doing, but the people were amazing and I celebrated every little thing. And it just was awesome. If I would have listened to other people that are like, be careful, don't hurt yourself. That's really hard at your age. Are you sure that you've done enough training, blah, blah, blah? Then I wouldn't have had the results that I had. Right? So 8, you reap what you sow. Worrying too much could become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Have you ever thought about that? If you have a need to be liked too much, it can affect your behavior. So maybe you're kind of annoying and you're constantly, people talk about this all the time. It's been in movies and stuff. They have, they always talk about the women that they always say they want a nice guy, but when the guy's really nice, they don't want him anymore. So it's like that kind of thing. If you're a person who's constantly trying to please other people, you're not doing anything for yourself and you're just doing like, what do you need? Blah, blah, blah. It's just, it's something that can put people off, I guess I would say in a simple way. Okay. So 9, others don't care as much as you think. Really, really. Others do not care as much as you think. Unless something you say or do directly affects another person, they're not likely to spend much time thinking about it themselves. They're just not. And if they're too much in your business and trying to tell you what to do, then that's not somebody you need to be listening to either. Okay. Because who's living your life? You are. All right. 10, it's impossible to please everybody. There's always that I am possible in there, but don't burn yourself out trying to do so. Make sure that you also please yourself. Tee-hee. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a double entendre if you think about it. Okay. So final thoughts. Okay. When you stop worrying about what others think, you can live life to your fullest. I mean, imagine if you didn't care what other people think, if you didn't care what other people thought about what you did and your decisions and whatever. I mean, you're going to make mistakes, right? So it's the same thing. Like I listen to that stoic guy and it's like, living in that fear, not doing it doesn't really get you anywhere. If you were constantly worried about what other people thought, you really wouldn't even be yourself. If that makes sense, if you try too hard to be liked, it can actually cause you to be disliked. So that's what I was saying before. Your behavior can be bothersome or annoying. Agree or disagree? Doesn't matter, right? But yeah. Okay, because our thoughts are constantly changing. Think about it. If someone thinks badly of you, there's a good chance they'll think differently in the future. Have you ever met someone that you just did not like, but then you changed your mind later? Or vice versa, right? We're constantly changing our minds. I didn't start Highland Games until, I don't know, 8 years. Was it 8 years ago or something? You know what I mean? I changed my career 8-9 years ago. I mean, you change your mind all the time. I'm going to eat this way. I'm not going to eat this way. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to, I decided a long time ago with the stopping teaching and this Highland Games and strongman stuff, I decided that life is too short, that I wanted more from life. And I was just saying this the other day to my sister and my friend. I want more from life. And wanting more from life can simply mean I want to do what I want to do, not hurt other people. I want to support other people. I want to do the things, but I want to live in the moment. I want to live now because we're not promised tomorrow. I mean, this is a big deal. This whole, what's it called? It's the humanity thing or whatever. Can't think of the word. Annie says, so proud of you for changing your career. Thank you. I know it was crazy after 16 years, right, Annie? And I heard a lot of flack for that too. They're like, oh my God, you're an idiot. You're crazy. You have benefits. You have this. Most realtors quit in their first 2 to 3 years. And I'm like, well, okay, well, if that's me, that's me. But I don't believe that's going to be me, right? So only you know what is right for you. So that's not to say that you can't give advice to people, okay? You can't, it's not to say like, oh my God, you're an asshole for telling me your feelings. Because, I have a friend that we talk about like our real feelings all the time, and we're totally blunt and honest with each other, and no feelings are hurt. So I'm telling you right now, if you're coming from a place of love and care, if you're not trying to be a douchebag about it, I'm not going to be mad at you. So like, if you don't want to go to, if I ask you to go somewhere and you don't want to go, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be mad, My thoughts on you going or not going shouldn't affect how you feel, right? I don't know if that came out right. Growth is learning. Only you can learn through making your own decisions and taking full responsibility for them, which includes listening to someone and not liking the outcome. And I already said that, so that's why it's called a recap, okay? And this goes both ways. Be careful of how you are to others. When you are offering advice or saying things or your feelings on something, really think about how that's going to come across. And saying something like no offense doesn't negate how it comes across, So if you're going to be a person that's like, you know what, I don't give a anymore, well, then you need to think about how you're putting yourself out there to other people too, because are you making them have to make a decision on whether they need to listen to you or not, kind of thing. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm pretty much done. I had given a couple notes to myself because I was thinking about, so if you're a person who's like looking at somebody in the gym and the guys that only lift arms and they have like chicken legs, I would say, who cares? Who's living their life? They are. You can't do a perfect dive in a pool. Who cares? You have cellulite. You have extra skin under your chin. Oh, that bothers me so much. But I'm just working on it, okay? You feel sad. It's okay. You don't want to go to that concert. It's okay. You don't have to, okay? I have a couple of these things to end with. Your life isn't yours if you always care what someone else thinks. Think about that. Your life is not yours if you always care about what someone else thinks. Marcus Aurelius, you guys need to really, I talked about the Stoicism thing a while back, but I've been listening to this stuff a lot, and it's amazing. You could leave your life right now. So let that determine what you think, what you do and say and think. You could leave your life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. I mean, think about it, right? All right, so this is from my friend Heather, and she, for my birthday, and also a housewarming present, she actually sent me a bunch of stuff. It must have cost her like $1 million. And she got me this really cute Hedgehog Wisdom book. So in that book, it's got just a bunch of cute quotes and such, and this is one of them. Even though it sounds corny, get it? Movie nights, popcorn. We must be the lead in our own lives. Be the hero. Be the romantic interest. Be the comic relief. Just be you. Just be you. And lastly, the minute you stop caring what others think is the minute you start being yourself. Whoa, that's a crazy one right there. So here's why I'm here, guys. I'm here because I go through these things myself. I think about you a lot. I'm a person who cares far too much about other people. I have had my moments of caring far too much about what other people think. I've tried to please other people all the time. Part of the burden of an empath is really feeling what other people feel. So it's like kind of this weird investment thing. If I've been intrusive in the past, I apologize. We're all on this path together, this journey together, So that's why I'm talking about it. So if this is something that resonates with you and you want to talk about it, awesome. If you want to reach out to me, awesome. If you don't, awesome. Because guess what? Guess who's living your life? You are. So this is why I don't give a anymore and why you shouldn't either, my friends. So I'm going to see you next week. You remember what Sid Squatch says. He's not here, but the journey begins with you. So be good to yourself. And I got to think of, if someone can come up with a slogan for Gorm, that'd be amazing. And, Horgan loves you. Peace and love, everybody. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see ya next week.